What's up, y'all? Welcome to another segment of No Skips. And just like the last segment, I told you I was gonna tackle another Tyler the Creator album. Well, today I want to talk about Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler the Creator. All right, so the cool thing about this is, and this is how the album comes, just like this. Don't tap the glass. You see the crazy artwork and all that, clear record, which is dope. But let's talk about this album. Well, he recorded this album while on tour for the Chromacopia album. I think he started making beats, I think in December timeframe of last year. He gave himself a month to write all the lyrics. Once he put the beats together, he gave himself a month to write the lyrics for this album. Again, recorded it while on tour for the album Chromacopia, right? He had just dropped Chromacopia in November. And in December, he's already making new beats, and I think in March timeframe is when he started writing the lyrics. And he said once he finished, he announced it and dropped the album in 42 hours. He said he didn't want to think about it. He didn't want to be in his head about it. And let's preference this, okay? He just dropped this introspective album called Chromacopia, where he gets all deep and everything, talking about possibility of having children and monogamy and his father and all that good shit, right? This album, it starts off with rules. And you say, leave that deep shit at the door. Basically, this album is for the party. He wanted to dance. He said he asked his friends why they don't dance, and they were saying they didn't want nobody to film them with the phone and all this. He's like, man, fuck that. Let's have some fun. Let's dance. So out the gate, I'm gonna tell you right now, this album is it's not a dance album, but it's a dance album. I mean, it's an alternative style of music if you like that, but it's got some hip hop, R&B filled songs to it as well. So that's why I really love it. Again, I wasn't a big Tyler the Creator fan until I heard Chromacopia, and this sounds nothing like Chromacopia. And like I was telling you before on Chromacopia, when Tyler comes back, he always changes who he is, right? So if you look at his character on this album, it looks a lot different from the character on this album. You know, and this one, he got this 80s swagger to it, and the chain, the pants, and the glasses. And it's funny, you know, it's reminiscent of Ludacris with the big hands and LL with the red pants. And he was saying, no, he had a yellow leather suit, a green one, a blue one, a red one. But when it came to shooting this album cover, he said, fuck it. He just threw the red one on, put his chain on, put his glass of hat, and took the picture right at his house. And then he went on Photoshop and enlarged his hands and his bugged out his eyes or whatever, maybe even the chain and everything. But anyways, I think it's dope how he wanted to get out of his head. And he probably needed to get away from that deep, I won't say dark, but get away from the stuff he talked about on Chromacopia. Maybe he needed relief from that and just wanted to party and dance. He wanted a break from the deep shit. That's what I'm assuming, you know, when he recorded this album. He said he didn't want to overthink the process of making an album, because he said he can get in his head and he'll stay there for a while. And he says he'd be waiting 3 years to drop a project. He was like, nah, I'm just going to get in there. I'm going to record this shit and I'm going to drop it. Most of the beats are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not live instruments. So it's kind of, the sonic is more digital sonics, which is cool. And the sounds it kind of takes you to an 80s feel, kind of, sort of 80s pop feel to it with the keyboards and sounds and things of that nature. So maybe that has something to play into the aesthetics of how he looks on the album. I'm not for sure. But I remember after Chromacopia dropped, he dropped a remix to Hey Now, and it's called I'm That Guy, where he was flowing over Kendrick Lamar's Hey Now, and he was on his LA shit, and, you know, he was popping big shit. And that's what this album is. He's popping big shit on this album, which I love it. But the album, I think it runs somewhere around 28 minutes. Just like Chromacopia, I listened to it one time through in the middle of the night. I'm a night owl, y'all. I don't know why I'm up in the middle of the night. I just am. And so that's when I like to listen to new music. And this album came out and I fell in love with it. The first listen, I was shocked because it was nothing like the previous Tyler albums. And I was like, okay, this is a little different. And then once I was into the second time and the third time listening to it, because it's so short, I was like, yeah, I love this album. So he gave himself a month to write the album, which I thought was dope. All the beats are about 120 beats per minute. So it's a nice little groove spot. If you DJ, a lot of people will tell you a lot of your favorite hits are at 120 beats per minute. One thing about Tyler is he finds a way to take different sounds and mesh them with classic hip hop songs. So he sampled Nuck If You Buck, and he also sampled Pastor Cavassier and perfectly blended those songs into what he was doing, which I thought really what really sets his sound apart, but which really gave cultural relevance to this project, which I really loved. The title, Don't Tap the Glass. I saw a lot of shit online, people talking about stop scrolling your phone, tap the glass on the phone, you're scrolling. And nah, what he was doing, I think he had an album plan, or he was trying to do this album with A$AP Rocky, and they were going to call it Don't Tap the Glass. You know, when you go to the zoo and you see the monkeys or whatever in the cages, they tell you don't tap the glass. And he thought it was a good concept. So that's why he ran with it and called it Don't Tap the Glass. I guess this is songs he kind of probably wanted to do with A$AP and probably didn't have a chance to get to do them or what have you. So that's where the title comes from. But the album opens up with none other than Pharrell, aka Skateboard P, which I think is dope because on some of the other songs, he has a song on here called Ring, Ring, Ring. And at first, I thought it was a Michael Jackson sample for Off the Wall, but then I had to do some research and ended up finding that it's a Ray Parker Jr. sample. But anyways, a dope ass song, and I hear traces of Michelle A in it. I forgot the name of that song. I think of No More Lies. And then I also hear early Pharrell sound in it. I don't know if that's what Tyler was shooting for, but that's the feel it gives me. So I really love that. You can hear Pharrell inspired music, even the way he sings. You can hear Pharrell's influence on him. So that's one thing I will say about this album and the influence on Tyler's production. Again, here we go. A new character. Right. I don't know what the name of this character is. At first, I thought it was Big Poe because it starts off on Big Poe, but he said he just saying Big Poe because it sounded fun and it was something just to put in the song. So it's not Big Poe. I didn't know if it was Mr. Glass, since he says glass on the hat. I don't think he really revealed the name of this character. But again, here it is, a new character. Now, if you didn't know, Apple Music named Tyler the Creator the musical artist of the year for the year 2025. And I agree with them. Not only did he release probably one of his most prolific, in-depth albums in Chromacopia, he followed it up a few months later with Don't Tap the Glass. Now, this Don't Tap the Glass, for me, is another one of them albums that has no skips. I mean, the way Tyler grabs you from the beginning, you're just moving. And I love the outro songs. Like when I say outro songs, I mean like the last few songs of the album. Tyler knows how to keep you engaged sonically and keep that energy there, but knows how to turn it down slowly, where he just eases you out the album. I mean, man, this is such a dope album. And I know a lot of people don't fuck with Tyler like that, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, if you get out your comfort zone and you listen to this album, there is no freaking way you're not gonna dance. There's no way this album doesn't make you want to move. I love this album by Tyler. And I mean, even if he didn't drop Chromacopia, I would still love this album. But because he did drop Chromacopia and I got to know him more through that album, it made me appreciate this album that much more. Again, this album, I think it is nominated for a Grammy for Best Alternative Album. I'm a firm believer that he'll win Album of the Year for Chromacopia, and I believe he'll win another Grammy for Best Alternative Album. This album is just fire from beginning to end, no skips. So again, this is another episode of No Skips. And before I sign off, I want to ask you, please go to my YouTube page at Andre Lamont Floyd and subscribe. And then on top of that, on my Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, it's all Andre Lamont Floyd. If you're not following me, go ahead and follow. I got a lot of stuff regarding music dropping as well. So again, I'm going to sign off now. I want to thank you for listening. And shout out to Tyler, the Creator, for dropping another album, which I would consider a classic, in my opinion. All right, until next time, peace.